This is Stacey McKibben with the Master Communicator podcast, where CEOs, senior leaders, and C-suite executives share their advice. It's 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best leaders know how to share their ideas concisely and quickly. Let's jump right in. Question number 1. In a few sentences, tell me who you are and what you do.
Thank you, Stacey. A little bit about me. I recently simplified my life. So who am I in a very simple way is my mission is be, do, have. And I say be love, do good, and have fun. And a little bit about what I do is I started a social enterprise called Integrous Women. We're all about developing female leaders. We create safe spaces for empowerment, and we help them through personal power, professional development, and philanthropy.
Oh man, well, that's amazing. And I know there definitely is a space out there that's just waiting for more female leaders. So I'm really excited that you're going to be cultivating even more of them.
Thank you.
Question number 2, what's the best thing about leading people from your perspective?
I thought I would answer this with a quote that I absolutely adore that inspired me as a leader. And it's by Antoine Saint-Exupéry. It's a very French last name. And he says, if you want to build a ship, don't drum up people to collect wood and don't assign them tasks to work, but rather teach them to long for the endless immensity of the sea. And I love that because it's all about, when we lead, it's about co-creating a shared vision. It's less about me being the leader, me having to have that clear vision and me paving the way, but it's about community. So I really take the essence of leadership as my role is to build more leaders, to collectively create that vision and ensure everyone is on the same page and co-create everything in an emergent and beautiful way.
Oh, I love that. I always think about leaders, their job is to enroll and inspire, right? Other people in a vision. So that goes with that beautifully. All right, question number 3 for you. I often hear from other leaders that business would be great if it weren't for that pesky people part. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that?
Stacey, I'm not gonna lie, I love systems. I am such a systems-oriented person, but it has to be about the people. It's all about relationships. I recently, even for myself, made my relationships one of my top 3 values. So really it's embodying this growth mindset. There's Carol Dweck with an amazing book called Growth Mindset. And if we are stuck in fixed mindset, it's all about, oh, it's failure and it's bad and it just doesn't work. But unfortunately, or fortunately for many of us, we live in a society where it's all about relationships and the people. So we have to dedicate our time to getting to know first and foremost ourselves, and then turning around once we identify who am I when I'm at my best, and then turn and support others as best as possible. Because if we're just thinking systems, we're not going to have, yes, they're going to be effective, but unfortunately companies are living organisms. Yeah. They're not robots. And we have to go back to the basics of human nature and understand people in order to really build these emergent, flourishing, thriving beings, which is these companies.
Absolutely. I love that. It's almost kind of like they're electric. They've got their own energy to them.
Yes.
What other successful business leaders like yourself should be on my podcast?
I thought long and hard about this. I have such a beautiful community in mind called Integrous Women, and there are so many beautiful, just flourishing women in this community. But another great one so any of those women, of course. The other community, though, is I was recently nominated as the Conscious Company Media. They have their World-Changing Women in Conscious Business, and I believe the list was about 50 women. So anyone on that list would be perfect because they are doing such innovative work and social impact all throughout not only the United States, but the world.
That's amazing. Women making things happen. I like the sound of that. All right, question number 5. What piece of advice about communication would you give to other leaders?
2 things. Listening is so underrated. We need to listen, but not just listen to respond, listen to understand. And taking that even further is listening for the emotion. When I'm in conversations, it's less about what the person is saying and more about the nonverbal feedback. So how are they showing up? Where am I seeing some hesitation when they're speaking? When are they getting really excited and starting to talk really fast? And when we can really dissect that conversation and be intuitive almost to a sense, that's when so much beauty happens and we can get to transformation, and the other person more importantly feels 3 things: seen, heard, and valued. And I truly believe everyone wants those 3 things. So listening for the emotion. And the second piece of advice I have is when we ask powerful questions, we get powerful solutions. I think more and more in the conversations I'm having, whether it's personally, whether it's professionally, so many people, and I'll be the first to admit this was me, are perfectionists around what comes out of their mouth. But instead of showing up with content and information, show up with a powerful question and you will stand out like never before. So equipping ourselves with very intriguing and well thought out questions, and it could even be in the moment, but to listen for the emotion, and most importantly, second, have a good question to ask and using more questions, because the better our questions are formulated, the clearer and more distinct our solutions are going to appear.
You make me think about Leonardo da Vinci's, healthy curiosity as like the key, right? I mean, it's that's really what you're at its core, what you're talking about is, being really curious, because from there, I think the questions come. Interesting. Tell me more about it. Why is that like that? Why is this like, right? And so I think, just from that space, you might be drawn to ask some more questions.
Yes.
Tell us about your favorite boss or teacher. Who's really influenced you?
I kind of joke that a lot of my life, I learned what not to do rather than what to do from a lot of the companies that I've been in, unfortunately. And I've had some amazing bosses along the way, but really it's actually a teacher that stands out the most to me. And this teacher, Mr. Hill, it was in high school. And I think we all have that one teacher that either you remember because you hated or remember because you really loved them. In my case, I loved Mr. Hill. He was like this big guy with this, ironically, I'm wearing kind of a Hawaiian shirt, and he had this nice, always a Hawaiian shirt on and khaki pant shorts. Doesn't matter what the weather was. But what I loved was he saw me. And that is so powerful for a teacher to do for a class of 30 to 50 students, is to really see someone. And in my particular case with Mr. Hill, this was a regular English teacher, English class. And he challenged me to make it to AP my junior year, which is advanced placement, I think it was. So it's kind of like taking honors English. And to be seen, but not only seen, but to be challenged and brought outside of my comfort zone, he would give me literally the AP assignments. And so I would do that above and beyond my regular coursework. And I eventually made it into honors English my junior year, all because he went above and beyond. He took time before, after school to give me these assignments and to help me. And I'm by no means am I an English major or anything right now, right? I definitely get tongue-tied and twist my words, but just the essence of who he was, of just this spirit of positivity, of love, of wanting to support and the going above and beyond is something that I've actually felt I've taken to heart since that moment, and really am passionate about doing for other people now.
That's amazing. Well, I love hearing that story, and I love all your ideas. Thank you so much for being on the show. If somebody would like to reach out and say hi or learn more about your organization, where should they go check you out? How should they find you?
I'm fairly active, both Facebook and LinkedIn, though I would say LinkedIn is best to connect personally. And as far as the business, integrouswomen.com. And I have a feeling, Stacey, you're going to put that in the links so they can know how to spell it. But yeah, our website is a great place, and LinkedIn as well.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, again, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate hearing from you. And this is Stacey McKibben with the Master Communicator Podcast. For more ideas and insights, please do go check us out at www.concilioteam.com. We look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care.
Bye.